Hi, my name is Libby Mueller, and I'm here to discuss what a professional would want to know while conducting business in England. And I have four key concepts that I'm going to be talking about today. The first one is language. When you are conducting business in England, English is their primary language. If you don't speak it well, you may want to consider bringing a translator with you just because it is their primary language. Business professionals in England do like to build rapport and relationships with other people to build that trust and reliability. So, not being able to speak English fully might hinder that relationship for you. Another thing to consider while you're doing business in England is when it comes to the language, some of the understatements that the English culture uses. And an understatement could be, gosh, this project sounds expensive, when in reality, what that person really means is this is very, very expensive. I don't know if we're going to be able to afford this. So don't be afraid to ask if that's what they are meaning. This is something that is accepted when you do ask smart questions. So if you get to that point, don't be afraid to ask. The next topic or concept that I'd like to talk about are meetings in general with professionals in England. And typically, if you're trying to get in to meet with someone, the easiest way might be to be introduced through a third party. Once you actually do set up that meeting, they like to meet face to face. And you'll want to start off the meeting with a handshake. If you have a second or third meeting, you don't necessarily have to have a handshake then, just typically on that first meeting. And if you are the one initiating the conversation, you may want to start off with more of a neutral topic like how the weather is outside. So we've discussed the language and meetings. Now we're going to talk about networking. So sometimes when you have set up a meeting with a professional, you want to get to know them better. Typically, our culture here in the U.S. To get to know people better is to provide happy hours, dinners, things of that nature. In England, they keep business and social aspects separate. So if you're going to build rapport and trust with a professional in England, you'll want to try to do that during business hours because doing the after-hour happy hour is just not part of their culture. And last but not least, I'll be talking about agreements. So in England, if you are verbally communicating with someone, you'll typically get some form of communication back from that professional written. So it could be via email or some type of document discussing what the topic of a conversation was that you had with that individual. If there is going to be a contract that will be taking place, it is not final unless it's written. And typically, once the contract is written, it's reviewed by a British professional. So don't take it personally if it is reviewed by another professional. It's just something that they do there. I have written down these concepts on a piece of paper here for you. And again, the language, meetings, networking, and agreements are four topics that I thought would be items a professional would want to know if you're going to be conducting business in England. So I hope that if you are traveling there in the future for business, that these key concepts will help you out. Thank you.